Well, hi, I'm Joseph Kreiss Photography, Embrace the Grain. Thanks for joining me on the channel. Appreciate you coming back after a little bit of a break. Lots of stuff going on in personal life and travel and professional life. A lot of jobs going on that were taking a lot of time away from this recreational YouTube channel about photography. So appreciate you hanging in there and coming back for this new video. Speaking of new, got something in the mail straight from Japan. Oh yeah, something new. Any guesses what might be in here? Of course, it has to do with Fuji. Let's open this up and see what we got. If you're interested, no affiliation or anything like that, but I can put the link to the eBay seller in the description of this video. And if you're interested in purchasing some stuff from them, I just must have ordered just at the right time, and this got shipped out right away, and so we will see. Ooh, what could be in here? Packaged okay, I guess. So I've been contemplating the purchase of this Fujifilm lens probably for a couple years. Up until this point, I have been using the Fujifilm 35mm f2 autofocus lens, and that has served me fine. But I always had my eye on the classic heritage lens, the 35mm f1.4, and I've got it. Here it is. This has been purchased, used, or previously owned, and ooh, here it is. Wow, that's light. The Fujifilm 35mm f1.4R, and this is a 50mm equivalent on the Fujifilm format. So this lens has been the brunt, not this particular lens, but this 35mm lens has been the brunt of folklore, the brunt of criticism, the brunt of tons and tons of video reviews and all sorts of stuff. So obviously I am not the first photography YouTube channel to talk about this 35mm lens, but all the hype just had me so curious that I had to get it. And I was able to sell my 35mm f2 off of eBay. I posted it, and less than an hour it was sold. And either I underpriced it a lot, but maybe so. But it went out to a photographer in Oregon. So if you're watching this, I hope you enjoy that lens as much as I did. But I can hardly wait to get this on the camera and to see what it's all about. So if you read Japanese, you'll know what camera store this is. And if you don't, you're right there with me. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description of this video for you. Some of you are going to go, man, that's just banged up and whatever. And it's like, well, it's okay. This will fit in with the rest of my equipment. I use my gear on a professional basis. I shoot primarily performing arts and live music events. I usually carry 3 Fujifilm cameras, including this X Pro 1, which is of the same era and lineage as this 35mm f1.4. So my gear gets banged up a lot, and that's okay. You know, I think just like me, I'm banged up after 30 something, 40 something years of working as a photojournalist. For the most of my life, I've had a camera in my hand, and I will probably be buried with a camera in my hand too, so that's okay. But because I'm shooting a lot of live theater and performances and things like that, that extra little oomph that going from 2.8 to 2 to f1.4 could give me a little bit of an edge just to get a little bit brighter image. And I don't know, like I say, this lens has a legacy and a myth about it. It's this magical powers in this lens, the way that the Fujifilm lens creators put this together. It's a lens that legends are made from. And you either love it or you hate it. And I'm hoping that I'm going to love it. Right now on my X Pro 1, I was using it the other day. I had a children's theater production that I was shooting. And this is the Fujifilm 16mm f2.8. And it's a good lens. And this is an aftermarket bayonet lens hood. And so that stays on it all the time. I've got a UV filter to protect it, but this 16 is, as you probably know, is the equivalent of a 24mm. And when I was shooting with Nikons, 24mm was my lens that I had on the camera most of the time, because most of the assignments and things that I was doing were close in, needed a wide angle lens. So this is just like the old days when I was shooting the Nikons. But the 35 f2 from Fujifilm looks very similar to this, with the wider f-stop selection ring and then a small focusing ring. It was good. I got good results from it, but I wasn't really like, oh, this is like, I'll never get rid of this lens. And because of that, and because of the legacy that the 35 f1.4 has, I just had to try it and see what it's like with this first generation Fuji digital sensor in here. So looking forward to it. Anyway, I probably will keep this 16mm lens. I've been toying with going and purchasing the 18mm f2, but I'm only gaining a little bit of extra light, and also being an 18, that's about a 27mm, and I think other than putting on an ultra wide fisheye lens that I have, a manual focus fisheye, I should talk about that at some point. I think I'm going to stick around with the 16mm. So let's take this guy off. And put this magic lens on the body. Look at that. It's what dreams are made of. I don't know. I mean, there's just something, I guess because I've been watching so many videos about this lens and body combination, the X Pro 1, first generation digital rangefinder, and these heritage lenses. I don't know. It seems like it's complete now. The body feels nice. This is a good size. I have very large hands, so I'm not really liking the totally small camera bodies or the camera lenses. Well, that's not too bad. There was stories about how noisy the motor is inside the lens. I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, I'm not shooting in a courtroom or on a movie set where you have to have complete silence from the stills photographer. And usually the venues that I'm shooting are very loud, so you can hardly hear yourself, let alone the motor. I don't think that's bad at all. Of course, after playing drums in a few bands and photographing bands, I probably can't hear anyway. But I don't know. That's a nice bright. It's a nice bright picture there. I shoot manual exposure. I do shoot with the autofocus, but I don't know. I like that. We're gonna have to go out and shoot some pictures with this. I'm really excited. I couldn't wait till this got here, and I'm glad that it arrived in only 2 days after hitting the purchase button on eBay. But that's a sweet lens. And the other Fujifilm cameras that I own are the X100S, another antique, and the Fujifilm X-T2, which is the 24.6 megapixel sensor. This has a 16 point something, and I think the X100S has the same 16 megapixel sensor, but I'll try it on that. But usually I'm carrying 3 bodies, 3 different focal lengths. So I'll have the 23 millimeter on the X100S, which is a 35 millimeter equivalent. I'll have this, which is the 50, and the other day I could have used this lens. I already had sold the other 35 and mailed it off, and I was like, I was missing the 50 millimeter focal length. So this will get used a lot. And then I also have the 55 to 200 Fujifilm zoom, which is awesome lens. The only thing I don't like about it is it's a variable f-stop. As you zoom out, it gets slower. So I can't afford a f2.8 telephoto right now for Fuji, but I'm usually close enough where I really don't need a long telephoto lens in the photos that I'm shooting. So anyway, that is the latest right here. The 35 millimeter f1.4 Legacy magical, beautiful lens that I can't wait to go out and shoot with. And if it's a little slow acquiring focus, so be it. I'm a little bit slower now than I used to be. I don't see where that's any slower, maybe a milliseconds slower than a lens like this, or what my X100S does. So it's kind of all in the same vein. I'm digging it. I'm going to go out and shoot some pictures with this, and I'll see if it does have that mystical, magical thing. I think it's halfway in your head that you've got this legacy lens, and you just, anything you're going to shoot with it is going to be awesome. If you're interested in the video series I did with one camera, one lens, which was this X Pro 1 and the Fujifilm 35mm f 2.8, I did a whole travel series where I just took this camera body and that particular 35mm lens, 50mm equivalent, and shot exclusively with that. But man, I'm looking forward to doing something like that same one camera, one lens with this. So that's going to be awesome. Speaking of 35mm, I got something new for my Nikon S2. And well, we'll just leave that for another video and another day. We'll talk about that as well. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of you that have subscribed to the channel and have stuck there with me and are watching this video. Be sure to subscribe. Tell your Fujifilm fellow shooters about Embracing the Grain, Joseph Kreiss Photography on YouTube. We also have an Instagram channel, Joseph Kreiss Photography, and you can check out some pictures and goofy stuff that I do over there. In the meantime, happy shooting and embrace the grain. Ooh, looking forward to this.